Hey everyone, welcome back to new series of Python. In today's video, we will be discussing about how to capitalize each string in a list of strings in Python. So there are different methods by which we can just capitalize each string in a list of strings in Python. So in this video, we will discuss about two methods by which we can just capitalize each string in a list of strings in Python. That is using a for loop, using the list comprehension, as well as using map function. So the first method is capitalize each string in a list of strings using for loop. So here the initial step is to initialize a list. So here you can see that we have initialized a list named as fruits with the string as apple, orange, banana and papaya. So when you just consider each of the item, here you can see that each item starts with small letter. So we just need to capitalize the each strings of this list as capital, and we have to store it in another list. So the next step is to initialize an empty list. So here you can just declare the empty list. So let's name the empty list as cap list. So we know an empty list is a list that doesn't contain any elements or any items. So you can just set an empty list over here. Now the next step is that we just need to consider the for loop. So as we just use the for loop, we can just traverse through every element in this list. So here you can just use the for loop for. So we have to consider each of the word or each of the elements. So I'll be using the variable as word, and it must be in the list fruits. Now here we know in order to complete this index, we have to use the colon. And now we just need to print the word. So as you just print the word, you can find each of the fruits in this list or each of the string in this list. So let's run the file, and here you would be able to find the result. So here you can see that currently we have traversed through every words or every elements in the list. Now this next method is that we just need to capitalize each string in this list of strings, as well as we just need to append the capitalized string into this empty list. So we have to provide the expression over here. So as we just want to append the capitalized string, we can just consider the object that is cap list. And in order to append, you can just put a dot and use append method. And afterwards, as we just want to capitalize each of the word, you can just provide word, that is the object, and you can just use capitalize. So this would capitalize each of the words in this list. Now we just need to get the result and print it in the console. So you can just use the print function, and as the result will be appended to the empty list, you can just see that you can use that object which is cap list. So once you run this file, here you can see that currently we have got the result. But here we have just made a small mistake. As this print function comes inside the for loop, here you can see that it comes as in a pattern. So in order to avoid this, just come out of the loop, and you can see that currently we have solved the issue, and you have got the result in just a single list. So this is one of the method that is used to capitalize each string in a list. List of strings using a for loop. Now the second method is that we can also capitalize each string in a list of strings using list comprehension. So we have already learned the list comprehension in previous video. So here we can just consider the same list itself. So in case of list comprehension, here we know we have to use a variable, and the syntax comes like inside the square bracket, which means we have to get the result in the list format. So we will use a square bracket. In the square bracket, we will provide the expression followed by the for loop. So here we can just consider a variable. So let's name it as cp list. Into this, we just need to assign the syntax. So you can just use a square bracket, and here you know the expression is word.capitalize, because we just need to capitalize each of the word in this list. So the word is just a variable that indicates the items or the elements in this list. So here you can see we can just provide the expression that is word.capitalize, and we have to provide the for loop. So here you can see the for loop, that is for word in fruits. So once you provide the expression as well as the for loop over here, the next step is just to print the object in order to get the result, or in order to get the result in the console. So you can just run this file, and here you would be able to find the result, which means we can easily capitalize each string in a list of strings using list comprehension. So if you don't know what is list comprehension, kindly watch the previous video of list comprehension and make thorough with the concept, and come back to make more clear and precise with this video. Now, the third method is capitalize each string in a list of strings using map function. So map function is used for mapping each of the strings, and here you can see how it's done. So you can just use a variable. So here I'll be naming the variable as cList, and we will be considering the initialized list that is fruits. So here we will be using the same list, and into this we can just map. So first we have to use a constructor list, and afterwards we have to map everything into the list, and you can just use a map function. Afterwards, as we just need to map the string, here we can just use the str constructor and put a dot, and as we just need to capitalize, we can just use the capitalize method. So here you can just use the capitalize method, and we just need to pass the argument. The argument is fruit. So here what Python will do is that it will consider the fruit list, and it will just map everything and capitalize and convert each letters, or the initial letters of each word will be converted into capital letter. Now we can just print the object, that is the C list, and here you can find the result. So these are the few methods by which you can just capitalize each string in a list of strings using for loop, list comprehension, as well as map function. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video.